Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanvitam Scha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते कुपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवारि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances, O Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol. Where is the... Continue from here. I agree with us. Bergson sees man as the culmination of Earth's evolution. He writes, man might be considered the reason for the existence of the entire organization of life on our planet. So why he thinks man is the reason for the planet? On this planet, there are different types of men. Not everyone is in the same position. There are fools and sages, rich men and poor. I agree with us. He's speaking of mankind in general. Srila Prabhupada, what does he mean by all mankind? Everyone is an individual. In any case, man is not the highest form of life. I agree with us. Bergson sees the material world as being basically isolated from one another. Oh, he writes, it is not artificially, for reasons of mere convenience, that we isolate our solar system. Nature itself invites us to isolate it. Srila Prabhupada, we feel isolated because we are individuals. In a prison, every criminal is different from every other criminal, and everyone has to suffer the consequences of his criminal activities. Thus, every individual is suffering or enjoying according to his past deeds. If there is combination, you forget individuality, but that is not possible. I agree with us. We feel isolated as individuals, but in addition, we feel isolated communally on this planet. Man has never been able to communicate with beings on other planets. Srila Prabhupada, what is the point in communicating with other planets? They are also like this planet. People there have their individuality also. I agree with us. Well, man has always had their desire to communicate with something outside of this world, something higher. Basically, this must be a desire to reach God. Srila Prabhupada. Since God is there, why not communicate with Him? There is no point in communicating with other planets. Other living entities cannot help us. If we communicate, understand everything else. If you hear people talking on other planets, what benefit will you derive? It is better to listen to Krishna speaking in Bhagavad Gita. I agree with us. Is this isolation between worlds characteristics only of the lower and middle planetary systems? Is there as much isolation between the higher systems? Srila Prabhupada, isolation is always there, even in this world. Crowds remain to themselves and swans remains to themselves. This isolation is natural because everyone is functioning under the different modes of material nature. However, if people come to Krishna consciousness, there is no longer isolation because everyone is engaged in the Lord's service. I agree with that. Bergson sees the universe itself as expanding and evolving. He writes, for the universe is not made, but is being made continually. It is growing, perhaps indefinitely, but the addition of new worlds, by the addition of new worlds. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, the universes emanate from the breathing of Mahavishnu. If we accept the fact that the universe is increasing, then universes may come out like particles and then begin to develop. We see that for everything material there is a small beginning. When the living entity enters the womb, he is very small indeed. A banyan tree begins to grow from a small seed. This is the way of nature. It is a fact that the universe is increasing, but not perpetually. It increases to a certain extent, stops, dwindles, and vanishes. I agree. Modern astronomers theorize that the universe is expanding and that the systems are exploding outward into the space and moving proportionally further and further from one another, just like raisins expanding in dough when it's heated in the oven. What is this? What is this analogy they're giving? Hmm. Raisins in the oven.
Prashadam analogy.
Yes, bro. Prabhu, Standard Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Devahang Prabhu and Jani Prabhu. Standard Pranam.
Pranam, Sami Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada, that expansion goes on to a certain extent, then it stops. I agree with that. But Bergson sees the universe as evolving towards some grand harmony. Srila Prabhupada, what does he mean by grand harmony? Everything is increasing and everything will eventually dwindle and be annihilated. That is the course of material nature and the harmony is in this process. I agree with that. In attempting to relate God to the universe, Bergson speaks of a center from which worlds shoot out like rockets in a fireworks display. Srila Prabhupada, the creation is like a wheel rotating. There are spokes and there is a rim. There is also a center around which everything resolves. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source of materials. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Bhagavad Gita 10:8. That center is God, and all the parts are revolving around him. In any case, the center remains where it is, and it's always the same. Shyamasundar Das. Bergson spoke of the world as a machine for the making of gods. In a sense, this world is a training ground wherein we can make ourselves immortal. What is this? Srila Prabhupada, you are immortal already. You have just forgotten. Mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana shastani indriyani prakritistani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Bhagavad Gita 15:7. There is bewilderment, but no change. We are fixed as spirit soul. It is as if we are dreaming. Oh, I have fallen into the Pacific Ocean, I'm drowning, save me. We may dream so many troublesome things, but actually there is no Pacific Ocean and we are not drowning. It is simply a dream. The temporary covering of the body is just like a dream, and as soon as you come to Krishna consciousness, you wake up. When you are awake, the dream has no value. However, when the dream is happening, you are thinking that it is real. But since it has no value, it is called Maya. Maya means that which has no real existence but appears to. Shyama Sundar. Does Maya mean nothingness? Srila Prabhupada. You cannot say that. It is nothing appearing like something, but we do not say that it is nothing. Mayavadis say that it is nothing, but we say that it is temporary. How can you say that a cloud is nothing? A cloud appears, remains for a while, and then goes. The body is there temporarily for a few years or a few hours. It is like a cloud. We cannot say that it is nothing, but that is temporary. Shamasundar. Bergson thought that the life force passing through different bodies will eventually become immortal on this planet. Srila Prabhupada, at present, people are living for an average of 70 years, at the utmost 100. They are thinking that they would like to live for 170 years. But in this material world, 70 and 170 or 70 million years are the same. The years will eventually end. However, one who only lives for 70 years thinks that a million years is immortality. Shyama Sundar. Bergson is interested in knowing the course of future evolution. He feels that because man has progressed from the instinctive stage to the intelligent and to the intuitive stages, he will eventually attain the immortal stage. Srila Prabhupada. That is very nice. The idea that man will attain perfection, progress means that is very nice, the idea that man will attain perfection. Progress means that you go forward, that you do not remain stagnant. The Vedas say, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Shuraya Diviva Chakshur Atatam Vishnuryat Paramam Padam. The lotus feet of Lord Vishnu are the supreme objective of all the demigods. These lotus feet of the Lord are as enlightening as the sun in the sky.
This is a very good verse. I want to note that for the
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. Tad Vishnu Paramam.
It is from Rig Veda.
Yes, Prabhu. I was trying to find it from internet.
But the Rig Veda is not on the internet, right?
Yes, Prabhu, but from Vanigu also I was trying to find.
Okay.
Because I cannot copy from here. Because see, when I copy it,
Yeah.
I was trying to find something, but I cannot copy this either because this is some.
Prabhu, what page is this? 375. Yeah,
But
I'll try to copy. It will be possible.
oh, 1 second. What is this?
Ah,
Okay, Haribol, who wants to continue from this part?
Subham Prabhu can read maybe.
Who?
Subham Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. If he's
Yeah.
I think he is in the train, so he cannot
Oh.
speak in the train
Oh,
because he go to Pondicherry now.
yes,
yeah.
Prabhu.
That's
Yeah.
why I read. Those who are learned and advanced in knowledge are called Suraya. Modern scientists are looking forward to going to other planets, but those who are learned are looking forward to go to the lotus feet of Krishna. They are thinking, when will I reach you? The goal is that, and those who know it do not miss it. One who is Krishna conscious knows the goals and attempts to reach it. Those who do not know the goal waste their time philosophizing and misleading others. This is blind leading the blind. So Hayagriya Das Hayagriya. So when Bergson refers to the universation machine for the making of food, in what sense he is correct? Srila Prabhupada. Well, in one sense, there is no making of gods, because the demigods are already there. All parts of the wings are there, complete. Our normal life is a life in Krishna consciousness. This is mukti, liberation. It is not a question of becoming something different, but of returning. Just a second. Yeah. Where was I? Returning to normal health, but returning to normal health to our constitutional position. In Maya, a man is diseased. In his delirium, he speaks all kind of nonsense. Hayagriya Das. Then instead of speaking of a universal machine for making of gods, it would be better to call it a hospital for cursing of the curing the souls.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, it is a hospital. Prabhupada. Yes, it is a hospital. When we are caught, we are freed from all designations, which begin with the body. People are thinking, I am European, American, Christian, Hindu, and so on. These are all misconceptions. Our real position is that we are part and parcel of Krishna and are his eternal servant. It is not that a man can be made into a demigod or god. Man is already part and parcel of God. And he is.
Yes, Prabhu. We are at prison and hospital at the same time.
It is actually like that for drug addicts they have that what is called.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
Prabhu. We're just in that kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
To understand his position in order to attain mukti. After all, what is a demigod? There is no difference between a demigod and a man. A demigod is in a better position. That's all. A high court judge and a layman are both human beings, but the judge is in a superior position. The demigods are elevated due to their being situated in a higher mode, in Sattva Guna. On this earth, Rajagun and Tamagun, passion and ignorance are prominent, being the spirit soul. However, we are not subject to any guna. We are transcendental. If we keep ourselves in our constitutional transcendental position by engaging in devotional service, we are above all the gunas, including Sattva Guna. This is the liberation attained by devotional service. The devotees are not interested in becoming demigods. After all, the demigods are also rotting in this material world. For a devotee, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, and all other demigods are no better than small insects. Everyone has a different types of body according to karma, whether it may be Brahma's body or an ant's body. One who has attained liberation is not at all concerned with the body. Therefore, devotees are not interested in being elevated to higher planetary systems. In fact, one devotee prays, I don't care to be a Brahma. I would prefer to be a small ant in the house of a devotee. This is the Vaishnava position. I think Bhakti Vinod Thakur says this.
Yes, Prabhu, this was nice answer.
Yeah.
This could be a short maybe also.
Mm.
This
Say
part.
that all the demigods like Brahma, Indra, and all the powerful one are just like small insect, you know.
Yes, Prabhu, I like that part that
Yeah.
demigods are rotting here and Chandra, Indra, these Brahma are small insects.
Yeah.
In a short, this would be good because all the Hindus would come.
Oh,
Yes. And
they would
only
come
on actually only Prabhupada can say that, you know. You see,
here.
in a
Only pure
shorter,
devotee can say it.
of
Yeah.
course, it will be nice, but if you said that, you know, only, only him can say that like that, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
This is God.
Oh, is this, he says one devotee prays, but
Yeah. I think this is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I heard from Tattva Prabhu class or Nimai Prabhu. I forgot.
yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu, I do remember.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said that in a bhajan, he said that he
Oh.
wanted to become a dog in a house of devotee.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, this is also that, and he also said about this also. That is
Okay.
Amit Vaishnavera Thakur Amit Tumhara Kukur, that song. But this is
yes.
different. Shyam Sundar Das. Bergson conceived of two types of morality, closed and open. Closed morality depends on prevailing conditions or social pressures. This is traditional morality. Srila Prabhupada. That kind of morality changes according to time and circumstance. What is moral in one society may be considered immoral in another. Shyam Sundar Das. Open morality is determined by individuals and is guided by institutions. Bergson saw this as morality of saints like Saint Paul or Saint Francis. Srila Prabhupada. If we are God conscious, we can tell what is real morality. Because Saint Paul was a sadhu, he could say what morality is. Our process is sadhu, guru, and shastra. We have to accept knowledge through saintly persons, and this knowledge has to be confirmed by the scriptures and explained by the gurus. In this way, our knowledge can be perfect. These scriptures are already there. We have to read them and understand how they have been realized and followed by saintly persons. If there is any difficulty in understanding, we should inquire from the spiritual master. In this way, sadhu, guru, shastra confirm one another. It is not that we try to understand these scriptures directly. We have to see how the scriptural injunctions are being followed by saintly persons. Here, Prabhu, somebody else can read.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Very good.
So I will continue because I think Leboam Prabhu said he can't read because he is in a loud area, and Subhan Prabhu said sometimes the connection is not good.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mm.
Who's him?
I don't know, bro. A man who is about to get in a real fight with a true warrior.
Yes, Prabhu. I think it's the lineage of Santa Claus. Oh, almost. It's his brother or cousin.
The beers, won't you reference? You take reference of the beard
Yes, Prabhu.
because Santa Claus is like very chubby, you know. He's
Yes,
not.
Prabhu. This is his brother, and he ate all his food, so he's thin.
Yeah, poor Santa Claus.
Often all the
Oh,
philosophers had a long beard. I think they have the philosophy philosophy power in their beard.
Oh yes, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, most of them, they might be trying to like yeah, foreigner sadhu. You know, in India also, all these sadhu they grow beard in order to like uh, make themselves
Samuel
knowledgeable, show themselves.
Alexander, or at least the name is more easy to pronounce.
Yes, bro. How old was
Shamashin Galadas. Alexander is the philosopher of emergent evolution. For him, external objects have an existence independent of consciousness. Unlike many other philosophies, Alexander's neo-realism contends that something may exist even though it is not perceived. Yes, that is so. God exists whether we perceive him or not. God is the original creator, and just as everyone has a father, all living entities are coming originally from this original father. The father is there.
वो हमारा साफ
Fact
प्रदेश प्लेटफॉर्म तो आसान नहीं है।
fact is fact, whether anyone perceive it or not. You may not have seen my father, but you may know that I had a father. You do not have to perceive him directly to know that he is a fact. Because I exist, my father is essential. That is understood and assumed by everyone. Therefore, people say, "What is your father's name?" instead of, "Do you have a father?" It is assumed that one has a father, even though this father is not immediately perceived. Alexander used the example of a house. Whether we are conscious of a house or not, the house itself is a real entity unaffected by our awareness of it. It has real objective existence. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, as far as that position is concerned, if we accept the fact that we are eternal, it is very natural to assume that we have an eternal house, an eternal home. That is back home, back to Godhead. When people ask, "Where do you live?" they are asking for your residence. Your present address may not be your birthplace, but it is a fact that we must live somewhere. No one may be interested in knowing where I live, but everyone knows that I have a place to live. Alexander believed that our consciousness of an object give us only limited perspective. When we shift our position, our perspective changes. If I see a table, that table has an objective reality. It is not just a mental image. Yes, you cannot say that the table is just a mental image. If someone throws the table and knocks you down, you will bleed. That is not simply mental. Alexander also claimed that even illusion or hallucination are generally real object. If I think I see a snake, which is really a rope, the illusion of that snake is real. Srila Prabhupada, there is in reality a snake. Otherwise, how can the image of a snake come to the imagination? I may falsely take a rope to be a snake, but that doesn't matter. In reality, the snake exists. Shamashundara does. For Alexander, the mind never creates anything new, but rearranges things, since everything already exists. There is no question of creating anything. Srila Prabhupada, yes, you cannot create anything. You can only transform. This table is nothing but wood. The wood is not my creation. It is already there. I have only transformed the wood into a shape called a table. It is said that necessity is the mother of invention. When I need something to sit on, I invent a chair. Some philosophers reason that Because man feels a necessity for God, he has invented God. Shapaupa, not invented. He knows God, and this is perfectly natural. Any sane man would ask, who is the original father? There is no question of inventing the original father. Anyone can understand that there is an original father, and by philosophical research, the Vedanta Sutra states, Janmadi Asyayataha. God is the original father of everyone. Invention refers to a things that I create which was not existence, and discovery refers to something I find that is already there. Invention and discovery practically convey the same idea because nothing is new. In the case of God, it is discovery. There is no question of even of invention. Ayagrivadas, in his major work, Space, Time, and Deity, Alexander writes, religion leans on metaphysics for the justification of its indefeasible conviction of the reality of its object, God. Philosophy leans on religion to justify it in calling the possessor of deity by the religious name of God. The two methods of approach are therefore complementary. We have often said that philosophy without religion is mental speculation, and religion without philosophy is sentiment. The combination of the two is most desirable. Bhagavad Gita is religion and philosophy combined. Religion is explained in terms of worship of God, and philosophy is explained in terms of immortality of the soul and other subject. Thus, Bhagavad Gita is the supreme combination of religion and philosophy. I agree with us. If religion is like a hunger, God is the food for that hunger. Alexander writes, these religious appetites may either be stilled in us directly by the impact of the world with its tendency to deity, or it may first be felt by us as a need of our nature. Srila Prabhupada, we are seeking love of God beginning with our own body. We love this body because we live within it. And as long as the living soul is there, the body has value. The living soul is valuable because he is part and parcel of God. We'll also understand from Bhagavad Gita that within the body, God is also living. So within there are two kshetragya, one who knows the individual body and the other who knows the whole body. The ultimate conclusion is that because the supreme living entity God is within the body and within the universe, we are attracted by love, society, friendship, communalism, and nationalism. When all this culminates in love for God, we attain perfection. We are searching for love of God, but we are moving by degrees from one platform to another. Wow, what a reply. This is incredible. So we need to know the Bhagavad Gita as much as Prabhupada, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
This is because this explanation of the Chetlagya, you know, I think the chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita is the most challenging one for me. For me, this is so hard to explain with simple, you know, and it just, you know, explain it very well here. And I think this is very, this Chetlagya is in the chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. This is a really, really difficult chapter. Yeah. The first time I read this, I just blank out, you know. I don't know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, there's the knower of the field, the soul, that is the knower of the field, and then there is the
Actually, it is not so difficult, but you know, when you want to explain it begins to be difficult because you have to be very precise, you know.
yes, Prabhu.
I agree with that. Alexander,
1 second, let's see.
field, yes.
Yeah, this verse is said that Krishna is the knower of all the fields, so he knows. I am the super knower.
Chitrani, this body is called the Chitra.
Yes, it's really nicely explained because it's like field where the soul plays, and it's
I
also
think it's the farming one, it is given something like that.
and it's also compared to a city at the Puranjan story. So it is like a field and it is like a city where the soul plays. Okay, let's continue. Haribol.
I agree with us. Alexander writes, it is idle to hope that by defining God in conceptual terms, whether as the son of reality or the perfect being, or the first cause, or by other device, we can establish the connection between such a being and the rest of our experience. We do but start with an abstraction, and we do but end with one. Proof of God's existence in nature, there are not. If such a God is to be identified with the object of worship, Srila Prabhupada, we can understand the presence of God in nature, and we can certainly see his presence there. We can understand that there is a proprietor of the land, sea, and air. We may not be able to see the proprietor of the universe, but from our present experience, proprietorship, we can understand that there must be an ultimate proprietor. God is the proprietor of the sun, moon, and the sky itself. Vedic literatures describe the moon and as the mind of God. Okay, the moon as the mind of God. The sun as the eyes of God. The land as the food of God, and the waters as the seminar of God. This is the beginning of impersonal realization, but we should understand that there is a person in the background, although we have not seen the governor of Hawaii, but we can understand that he is present by seeing the different branches of government. Similarly, as long as we are not qualified to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can understand that this is God's hand, this is God's heart, his mind, his eyes, and so on. When we are qualified, we can personally see God face to face. I agree with that. Alexander felt that even the description of God is full of figurative language. For him, it is impossible to describe God. Srila Prabhupada, if it is impossible, why is he trying? Why shouldn't we accept the Vedic description? In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells Krishna, Palam blam palam dama pavitram palamam bhavan purusham shastvatam divyam adidevamadam vibhum ahusvam lishaya sarve devashil naladastata Ashito deva lo vyasha yayam chaiva bravishime. You are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purified. The absolute truth and the eternal divine person, you are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Bhagavad Gita 10, 12, 13. If all authorities accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, what further evidence do we need? No further argument is necessary. Things should be simplified. Shamashundara Das. The mind is always reorganizing existing things. New comes from old, and from this, Alexander drew his idea of evolution. Srila Prabhupada. Since there is gold and mountain, I can imagine a gold mountain. I can combine many ideas with my imagination. The mind creates some idea and then reject them to create others, and then rejects them also. The mind is not satisfied with creating something final. The mind by nature is creative. It creates something, then thinks, oh, this is not perfect, and then begins again. That is the mind's business, accepting and rejecting. Shamashundaradas. For Alexander, the mind has two functions, contemplation and enjoyment. Contemplation involves perceiving the quality and the qualities of an object. For instance, an apple's redness. Srila Prabhupada. Oh, if I see a tamarind, I immediately salivate. Shamashundaradas. Enjoyment involves a mental awareness of inner philosophical activity. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, there are many examples. One may dream of a sex object and have nocturnal discharge. The mind creates things in this way, and there are actual physical reaction. In a dream, the mind may create a tiger, and the dreamer may cry aloud in fright. But actually, there is no tiger. Shamashundaradas. Alexander believed that even these dreams image have an objective reality in our consciousness. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, when I dream of a woman or a tiger, they exist in objective reality. The impression in my mind are created hallucination, but they may evoke physical reaction. Shamashundaradas. Alexander describes time as an infinity of single instants and space as an infinity of points. Together, they constitute primordial reality. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we also consider time and space to be reality. Time is eternal, and therefore we take time to be another feature of God. Space is a later creation. Space is Prakriti. Prakriti refers to nature, the element like earth, water, fire, ether. Space or sky is one of the fundamental factor of Prakriti, Prakriti Kala, Jiva, Bhagavan, nature times the individual soul and God. These are all reality and they are all eternal. There is only one ultimate creator, Bhagavan, and the Jivatma. The individual soul is the subsequent creator. God creates wood, and from this wood I create a table or a chair. Thus I am the subsequent, not the ultimate creator. Both creators, Bhagavan and Jivatma, are eternal because the creation has a past, present, and future. Time is also eternal. Shamashundara Das, is there such a thing as spiritual space? Srila Prabhupada, of course. If not, how can there be a spiritual world? The quality is different, but the ingredients are exactly the same. Shamashundara Das, Alexander, like Bergson, also believed that nothing remains at rest, that everything is in perpetual transition. Srila Prabhupada, yes, we also accept that. Everything is going forward. That is called Jagat. Shamashundara Das, can this be said that of the activities in the spiritual world? Srila Prabhupada, we are speaking of the material world, the spiritual world is different. In the spiritual world, activities are eternal. In the material world, they are not. Shamashundara Das, but isn't the motion of everything eternal? Srila Prabhupada, that motion is the interaction of the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. In course of time, the modes react, and creation takes place. There is certainly motion. Without motion, we cannot be there cannot be creation. Material nature is composed of earth, water, fire, the ether, and space. Whatever you see is composed of one or more of these ingredients. There are also subtler ingredients: mind, intelligence, and ego. There are the 8 material elements given in Bhagavad Gita, and they are considered the differentiated energy of Krishna. Shamashundara Das, Alexander's primary category is more abstract. He said that it is motion. Srila Prabhupada, but where does the motion come from? Motion means that there must be someone there to push. Shamashundara Das, another major category is identity of diversity. Everything has a personal identity and individuality, differentiating it from every other things. Srila Prabhupada, yes, this is called Sajatiyo Vijatiya in Sanskrit. There is difference, Vijatiya, even between like things. There may be 2 mango trees, but there is still a difference between them. They may be one as mango trees, but there is still individuality. Similarly, my fingers are one, but each finger is different from the others. Sajatiya refer to the same category, but even within that category, there is a difference. Shamashundara Das, existence or being is another major category. Srila Prabhupada, that existence is composed of one or more of the 5 elements. One ingredient may be more prominent than others, but there is at least one ingredient. Shamashundara Das, relation or and order are others categories. Everything relates to everything else, and there is order in everything. Srila Prabhupada, yes, there is certainly order in Prakriti. The sun rises and sets at designated time. There is order everywhere. Shamashundara Das, the mind also occupies a space and works in time. Srila Prabhupada, yes, we are occupying space, and since the mind is within us, the mind also occupies space. From practical experience, we can understand that the mind can immediately travel thousands of miles with no difficulty. Shamashundara Das, but is that distance within me, or does my mind actually travels there? Prabhupada, it travels.
Yeah,
It actually occupies.
This is one of my favorite parts. I've noted I've gave this reference many times about the mind and how it travels.
So this is part of conversation that you found?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this is a really nice part.
Okay.
Let's see if I have it. I think I have it. Yeah, here. Or is it the same?
Oh, not the same.
Yeah, this is different.
Yes.
I don't have, but I remember that I had this. Yeah, this is sometimes annoying because I remember that because I've shown this before, but I think I need to take it now.
So
Yeah, that's weird.
you take that note from where actually? That one.
Yeah, this I don't know. I thought it's from the same book.
It's from this book.
Yes, Prabhu. It's from
Oh,
this book.
but it's not the same.
Yes, Prabhu. It's from Vanigops, I found. I thought it's the same. Oh, yeah, I have it here. I have it as a picture. That's why. Or is it? No. Yeah, here. That's my mind actually traveled there. That's why the search couldn't find it. Yes, I'll turn it into text later. There you go.
Srila Prabhupada, it travels. It actually occupies space. Unless it occupies space, how can it could it travel? It travels so fast that you can't exactly remember how is it going. But as soon as he reaches his destination, you can apprehend it. In any case, it occupies space. Shamashundara does. The mind can leave the body and go somewhere. Srila Prabhupada not leave. It is just like a shoot. It extends. At night when we are dreaming, the subtle body also extends and comes back again. In fact, we may take the subtle body in dreams to be very important at the time.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this is really nice point that does my mind actually travel there? When you dream of something in dream, you go France or some Spain in your dream, you actually travel there with the mind. And it doesn't mean that your subtle body separates from the body and goes there. It doesn't go like that. The mind extends. So Prabhupada says, because he asks, does the mind leave the body and go somewhere? Does the subtle body separate from the body and go? Prabhupada says, no, it doesn't leave. It extends. Imagine your subtle body, you're at Reunion Island, and it extends all the way to the Pondicherry.
Yes.
That's so weird to think how it works.
Yes, but actually this is working like that in
Yes, Prabhu. But many times I see the misconception with people. They think that when you dream, you take your subtle body and you go somewhere. But the subtle body stays in the body. It doesn't go somewhere. It's extend. It doesn't get off.
This is a very good point actually, because everyone is thinking that the body, the subtle body will live and
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's common.
and you will live with the subtle body actually, but the body doesn't move.
Yes, Prabhu. It can extend far. The subtle body.
And the mind also. Yes. But
what are we talking
actually,
about?
Of the mind.
yeah, we were talking about the subtle body.
Jai, please accept my humble obeisances, O Lord
Krishna.
Shishila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai,
We were
your
talking about
obeisances is
yes,
Jai.
Prabhu. Jai. So we were talking about the subtle, no, I mean mind during dream, does it leave the body? The question is the mind can leave the body and go somewhere. Does my mind, because see, when you dream about USA in your mind, does your mind travel there actually? Does it cover space? That's also. What would you say, Manu Prabhu?
Does the mind travel?
Yes,
while you're dreaming.
Yes, when you are at some place, when your mind goes somewhere, you dream some place, does your subtle body really go there? Does your mind really go there? If you think
I would have to say, based on the Brahma Samhita, where it states that the rishis and also the jnanis, they try to come and capture Krishna with their mind and with their mental speculation.
Yes,
but Krishna still remains ahead of them. So, like, they're going somewhere with their subtle body.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, yeah, I would have to say yes.
But does their subtle body stay in their actual external body, or does it how?
No, the subtle body leaves because the soul is a perceptor. So he perceives through the subtle body, and he can go wherever he wants in that subtle body. But when he wakes up, he
But
perceives in the gross body.
But does the subtle body leave the gross body? That's the question.
Yes, I would say yes.
Yes, Prabhu, that's what most say, but Prabhupada says here the opposite.
Oh,
See, Prabhupada said, because the question is, does my mind actually travel there? When you dream of some place, see, we are occupying space, and since the mind is within us, the mind also occupies space. From practical experience, we can understand that the mind can immediately travel thousands of miles with no difficulties. Then the question is, but is that distance within me, or does my mind actually travel there? So he asks, does that happen in my mind, or does the mind actually go to that place when you think of something 1,000 miles? Then Prabhupada said, it travels. It actually occupies space. Unless it occupies space, how could it travel? It travels so fast that you can't exactly remember how it's going. But as soon as it reaches its destination, you can apprehend it. In any case, it occupies space. Then comes the question. The mind or subtle body can leave the body and go somewhere. This was the question. And see, Prabhupada answers, it not leave. It is just like a shoot. It extends. At night when we are dreaming, the subtle body extends and comes back again. So it doesn't really leave. That's incredible.
wow. Wow.
Yes, that's
My
incredible.
God.
Yes, Prabhu.
That's amazing, bro. Like,
Yes.
so basically, our mind is like, a stick. It's like a child's game. It's like, I'm not touching you.
Yes, Prabhu. And Prabhupada corrected this many times, because here also, this is another conversation, and Prabhupada says, yes, unless suppose you don't exactly remember now, the mind is going, and as soon as it reaches, then you can remember. It takes a second, but still it occupies. Shama Sundar asks, so the mind leaves the body and goes somewhere. Then Prabhupada says, not leave. It is just like a switch. Then Shama Sundar asks, oh, it extends. Then Prabhupada says, extends. That's incredible.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was like coming up with like some logic. I was just thinking Brahma Samrita, and then this.
Yes, but everyone thinks like this, that the
Yes.
body leaves. Because I was always thinking like this before I read that. That's why I was amazed, because I was always thinking that when we dream, the mind goes somewhere, and the subtle body it goes somewhere. When what we dream, the place or something, that it doesn't stay, like that the soul takes on the subtle body and that the body is there. But it does, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense, because the body is active. If the soul left the body with the subtle body, the external body would become dead. That's why the body keeps breathing, because the soul stays there. And if the soul went somewhere with the subtle body, it wouldn't work. So it must exist.
Wow. That is so technical, bro. My goodness.
Yes, this was
Bro, like, this is actually like, I came in the right time, bro.
Yes.
Let's see how
I don't
long.
know what else to put.
Shama Sundara does.
Oh, let's read this page to the end, and then we can go to Six Astakam, because it's getting late
Yes. So
from here.
So Shama Sundara does. Alexander maintains that new categories are constantly being uncovered because evolution is progressing. The living entity can evolve into new form that we now know nothing about. Srila Prabhupada, no, we do not agree. We know that the days are going on now and will continue, just as we have experienced them in the past. In the past, there was summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And in the future, there will there will also be experienced. Of course, the old order changes and yield to the new, but from our past experience, we know what will be there. Shama Sundara Das. Then in the future, there will be nothing unpredictable appearing, such as an entirely new form of existence. Shapopa. No, why should there be? Why should there be winter without spring or spring without summer? Why should there be a new type of man, new species? According to Vedic version, everything is there. The number of species in the water, in air, and on land is fixed. There is no question of species increasing. Shamashundaradas. Some scientists predict that the future man will have no bodily hair, that his head will be very large due to increased brain capacity, that the rest of his body will be atrophied, that he may lose some of his toes.
Prabhu,
And
they want to become some alien.
The alien has an elongated head.
What is this? He's describing all the aliens that they show in the movies.
I feel like these aliens are actually the forms of how Kali Yuga men will look like, all like shrunken down, all deformed and everything.
Yes, Prabhu, true, actually. I've never thought that before.
yes,
Because like they always display something that is so degraded as something like the future, like LGBT or anything that is like, you know, kind of retarded. Like,
Yeah.
you know, iPhone, for example. They took out the aux port,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
and then everyone was laughing, and then they followed. So everyone is like thinking, oh, now I can't have a baby because of all the chemicals. And then they're not now making it cool. It's like, oh, see, like 50% of men are not having babies. See, it's okay, it's cool. Because they can't even have babies and not even close. And so everyone is like, you know, I guess making a trend of everything that's terrible.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, now there's a big problem going on. All the governments are saying that there is no
Yeah.
babies. There is not
Yeah.
enough babies. How the civilization, because you know they made so many contraceptives, they made all the women take the weird hormone pills that mess the whole body and they cannot have children anymore. All the men are impotent, they can't have children anymore because they watch so much of weird stuff. And now they say we don't have enough babies. In our country, this is a really big problem with the government, because here, imagine if the world is having this problem, this country, small one, they have major problem with this. And then the most of the people are old. They are like 70 years old, 60 years old. And now when they start to go retirement, there is no young people to take care of them. There is no young people here anymore. So I don't know that's why they have to depend on immigration from the Middle Eastern countries, because there is a lot of people. So we don't have workers now. So they have to get all the people from there. So that's what's going
It's
on.
a problem in most Western countries. They don't have enough population.
Yes, Prabhu. And this year it has been like really bad. They made some numbers and they said if it continues like this, it's gonna be like major problem really soon. Because they had like in one city, they had some schools that there were only one child of now this age category that was going to the school. There was only one child going to the school. So they were like, how this can be possible? Before it was like 20, but the no one here wants to have a children because it's like impossible to maintain. It's so expensive, and now their money don't need even, it's not enough to pay for their own expenses. So no one is having children. They have abortions all the time. They use all the contraceptions possible. And then the government comes and cries, oh, you don't give us enough children. Yeah, I
In
don't.
Japan, the government is giving money to the citizens for having children.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, some countries I saw this.
Yeah.
They were giving like, I saw some numbers. They were giving like 1,000 euros if the man met with the family of the woman. They gave like prizes like this to encourage the marriage or something that babies come. So this is what's going on right now in the modern society.
First, they were thinking, oh, there is so much population, and then they are now, oh, there is not enough population.
Yes, Prabhu. And they themselves have caused all these things because they were saying we have too much babies and now we need these contraceptions and all these. They teached everywhere. In Africa, they didn't have most of these contraceptives. They took all these. They said, oh, those Africans, they're having so many children. We need to do something about this. And then I remember when I was child in the school, they were teaching us like this, that, oh, just now that we got these, condoms to the Africa that before they didn't have. They are so, aboriginal. They didn't have this modern, amazing invention. So they say it proudly. Now we took it to the Africa also. And they made so much, this contraceptive nonsense. And now what happened? Nature made them all naturally impotent. They cannot have any children even. And yeah, now they're suffering and crying because of this.
I was just listening to lecture today. They are trying to solve one problem, and by that solution, 100 more
Yes,
problems are coming.
Yes, bro. Exactly. That's the case here. And the problem now is much worse than having many children, because now when they don't have children, who's gonna take care of the society when they're old? Are they gonna come 70 years old? They're gonna do the same, working, and no, they cannot do that. So who's gonna do it?
Actually, they have no choice because in America they're leaving retirement and getting back to work.
Yes,
Their
bro.
pension is not enough.
Yes, Prabhu, and here the retirement age is close to 70 already. Who's gonna live 70 years? Not many live 70 years anymore. So, and they pay every year. They pay certain amount of money every month. You pay that you get as your pension when you retire. But it's 70 years. What you gonna do then? You get your 1,000 years a month, euros a month, and you paid your whole life for that. And what if you die before you're 70 years old? Then your money is gone. So the whole system is really weird, and I'm trying to not participate with any of weird
Srila
systems.
Prabhupada,
Good.
this is more
Be free.
foolishness. I think he said it all. This is more foolishness. There has never been such a thing, nor will there ever be. Man has always had 10 toes, and he always will. Shamashundala Das. Alexander believes that man may evolve to the demigod platform in the future, that he may have some super consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, yes, it is possible. Yanti Deva Vrata Devam. Bhagavad Gita 9:25. If you are fond of demigod, you will go to the demigods. Pitrin Yanti Pitrivrataha. Bhagavad Gita 9:25. Or you can go to the ancestors or remain within this material world.
Okay, let's continue from this tomorrow.
We have like 200 pages remaining. No?
What was? Yes, Prabhu, there was this King Puranjan, and he had 1,100 sons.
Oh, 1,100.
Yes, Prabhu, and during those ages, it was normal. It was more normal that there.
Oh, normal.
It was more
11
normal. I showed.
1,100 sons. Oh my God.
Yes, Prabhupada explained in the purport that before then there was nothing like contraceptives. I'll show you.
Imagine how much big house we would need, how much food you would have to prepare.
Yes, and he had also 110 daughters. It was not only the sons.
Ah.
what was it? It is 427. It's in this chapter. So in this King Puranjan because 1,100 sons.
So at once,
426. 427.6.
can you show the verse, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. 1 second. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's this purport. We're gonna read this. Translation. The great sage Narada then addressed King Prachinabarhishat. So this story is that King Prachinabarhishat is talking with Narada, and Narada is trying to teach him, but he cannot say to him directly that he couldn't say to him directly that you're doing this, you are doing that. So he gave an example of a third person. So that's how this King Puranjan came. And this Puranjan means one who is enjoying the body. So it is representation of us. So he made this story and he explained it to him.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Prabhu. Or he didn't make the story, but he knew the story and he gave it as a third person example, as because this King Prachinabarhishat was exactly in the same situation as Puranjan, so he explained it. This has been really amazing chapter. In this it explained the city of 9 gates, the body, and all those different.
Right here, left here.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the one ear is southern and the one is northern. And the face is, the eyes, nose, mouth, those are the 5 gates facing east. Then the genitals and anus is the facing west. And it was explained like that. And then there was in the body, there is, the intelligence is described as woman. And it was explained how, when the living entity takes shelter of the intelligence, that is like a proper marriage, and then it works properly. And also there was the senses, they were described as bodyguards. And then there was also the snake, I remember, it was the life force. And that was really amazing verse that explained the life force and how it's always there, active. But just let's read this purport. In this verse, there are several significant words, the first of which are Ekadasha Shatani. Puranjan had begotten 1,100 sons within the womb of his wife and thus passed away half of his life. See, what a waste. Half of the life. Actually, every man follows a similar process. If one lives for 100 years at the utmost, in his family life, he simply begets children up to the age of 50. Unfortunately, at the present moment, people do not live even 100 years. Nonetheless, they beget children up to the age of 60. This was nice humor. Because see, before they used to live 100 years, they begot children up to 50. Now they don't live even 100 years and they begot up to 60. That's crazy. Another point is that formerly people used to beget 100 to 200 sons and daughters. See, I said this was common.
Oh,
It's not only kings or some. It says another point is that former people used to beget 100 to 200 sons and daughters. That's a lot. I wouldn't remember even 10 of their names. How they named them.
oh yes. This name, how difficult it would be to remember the names.
This is a whole village.
Yes, bro. Yeah, actually, it is. And this is explained how the material entanglement begins with sex life. In the purport, Prabhupada explains it. That, first man has sex, then the grandchildren have sex, and they have children. And like this, the whole city and whole dynasty is created like this. And there's huge entanglement. Because, you know, the first one who started it, he is the reason for so many reactions done by all the grandsons. Imagine how many reactions caused by just one time having sex. All the grandsons will have children, and they will have children, and they will do so much nonsense, and that's really entangling. As will be evident from the next verse, King Puranjan not only begot 1,100 sons, but also 110 daughters. But see the ratio. See how strong he was still. Because, you know, getting sons means that the semen needs to be really strong with the man. It needs to be stronger than the blood of the woman. Otherwise, there is usually
Daughter.
yeah, daughter. Nimantai Prabhu explained this many times. So see, he got so many sons, and getting son for a householder, that is actually a success when he can get a son instead of daughter. Because it's putra, because son can deliver. Tra means deliver, pu is the particular hell, and the son can deliver the father. At the present moment, no one can produce such huge quantities of children. Instead, mankind is very busy checking the increase of population by contraceptive methods. See, they tried to check, and now they checked so many years, 50 years. They didn't invent this so much back. These are all new inventions, actually. Quite new inventions, all these contraceptives. So now they are reaping the fruits that they were growing many hundred years. We do not find in Vedic literature that they ever used contraceptive methods, although they were begetting hundreds of children. Checking population by contraceptive method is another sinful activity, but in this age of Kali, people have become so sinful that they do not care for the resultant reactions of their sinful lives. King Puranjan lay down with his wife Puranjani and begot a large number of children, and there is no mention in these verses that he used contraceptive methods. According to the Vedic scriptures, the contraceptive method should be restrained in sex life. It is not that one should indulge in unrestricted sex life and avoid children by using some method to check pregnancy. If a man is in good consciousness, he consults with his religious wife, and as a result of this consultation with intelligence, one advances in his ability to estimate the value of life. In other words, if one is fortunate enough to have a good conscientious wife, he can decide by mutual consultation that human life is meant for advancing in Krishna consciousness and not for begetting a large number of children. Children are called parinama, or byproducts, and when one consults his good intelligence, he can see that his byproduct should be the expansion of his Krishna consciousness. Yes, Prabhu, so there was no contraceptive methods.
Wow. Like, I would have to thank you for reading that for us.
Thank you so much for giving
I'm
this.
still in the second canto, and you gave me like 2 more cantos.
Yes, Prabhu, this fourth canto is really amazing. Sometimes I get stuck to the stories. I read them slowly and I take notes, and then I go through many times to when in my mind something comes to my mind, oh, this point I want to remember it better, then I quickly find it. And like this now that I showed it, the point came to my mind and immediately I want to look it again, because there is so much to learn from this. And I hear Sundar Gopal Prabhu gives many times this. He often explains about this Puranjan, because it is for, you know, for family life and for all the sex life and all this. It explains in the purports, especially Prabhupada gives all the how it's dangerous, all this. He explains in detail all the what will happen and what, like how the entanglement is. And how the man get attracted by the woman and beauty just by looking at the face. Then it was
during the moon, like the full moon, right?
yes,
That
Prabhu.
verse. Wow. Like,
Then about breasts, it was explained that they represent, because they are usually there is
You shared that amazing verse.
yes,
I
Prabhu.
have it saved.
Because now every time I think about breast, immediately two words come to my mind is
Same.
envy and attachment. I always remember this. Oh, this is just representation of attachment and envy. And if I think about these things, I will get more envious to other living entities, and I will get more attached to this woman body. So those
42525. I love this one. It helps me very much.
Oh yes, Prabhu, this is about the face. Puranjan, the hero, became attracted by the eyebrows and smiling face of the very beautiful girl and was immediately pierced by the arrows of her lusty desires. When she smiled shyly, she looked very beautiful to Puranjan, who, although a hero, could not refrain from addressing her.
No, this is different purpose.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry. Yeah, that is 42524. The one before that. The one you are talking about is
Oh, yes.
24. Yeah.
With the end of her sari, the woman was trying to cover her breasts, which were equally round and well placed side by side. She again and again tried to cover them out of shyness while she walked exactly like a great elephant. See, these translations, when one reads these, if one would only read the translations, he wouldn't understand anything what is going on. It would just look like this is some Puranjan man king is enjoying with the woman and it's describing the woman, and one couldn't understand anything. The whole thing's open in the purports. Because when I read the translation, sometimes I'm thinking, well, like this is like some normal, I'm thinking that this is like some play. It's like some story being explained, and I'm thinking what spiritual significance is in this story. Then I go to the purport that there is all the small details.
I would have to like
Yeah.
it's like that one class in Numanita Prabhu when he recently was reading the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Yes, Prabhu.
When Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was like, pretty much at an elevated level of like spiritual realization, still, even after reading Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Turn, like after reading Bhagavatam, he couldn't understand why Krishna danced with the gopis and everything.
Yes, Prabhu. Now I remember this.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
that was like
he could not understand the Krishna before reading Bhagavatam.
No, after.
Yeah.
no.
Then
He
read
read Bhagavatam,
by
but he couldn't
Vidyabhushan.
understand. Wait, hold on. He couldn't understand. But as soon as he read the Sridhar Swami's purports, then he could understand.
Yes, Prabhu.
Even after reading the CC, he still asks the question, why did Krishna dance with the gopis?
Yes, Prabhu. Imagine. That's
after the CC, and he's at a high level of spiritual of understanding, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Come on, it was like you
actually
like,
this is for us. Yeah. This is for us actually again. That we cannot understand without just going through the scriptures. We need the purpose. That's like the main thing. So this is the part of this. The representatives of attachment and envy are very much unfavorable for advancement in spiritual life. One should not be attracted by the breast of young woman. The great Saint Shankaracharya. Oh, this is not yet. See this part. The two breasts represent attachment and envy. The symptoms of raga and dvesha. So the great Saint Shankaracharya has described the breast of woman, especially young woman, as nothing but a combination of muscles and blood. So one should not be attracted by the illusory energy of face, breast, nipples. They are against of Maya, meant to victimize the opposite sex. Because the breasts are equally attractive, they are described as samavrittau. The sex impulse remains in an old man's heart also, even up to the point of death. To be rid of such agitation, one must be very much advanced in spiritual consciousness. then this, we have heard this verse million times. It's really nice. See, this point also. The word nirantarau is significant because although the breasts are situated in different locations, the action is the same. We should not make any distinction between attachment and envy. See, like in this way, explained how attachment and envy are equal, and also then they are in the same position and they are equal. They are both products of Rajoguna. Kama esa krodha esa Rajoguna samudbhava.
Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that both envy and attachment are the same, pretty much.
Yes, Prabhu. And the breasts are the representation of this. So,
like, when it says like, you know, they're the same, does it mean like they're the same because they're coming from the same source, ignorance, or like?
yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I think it's like that.
Because I was just thinking like, after you said that, you were saying like, when envy and attachment and they're the same, what came up in my mind, and I do beg to have any sort of correction. I just wanted to ask a question. Maybe it was asking. It was. Could it be that they're the same because it's kind of like action and reaction in karma? Whatever you do, your action is also considered an action. So like envy is like you want something from someone. An attachment is, you know, it gives like, you know, envy also, I guess. I don't know. I'm
Yes,
not
Prabhu.
too sure.
Yeah, this always come together. When there is attachment to something, there is envy involved in that. I think this can be perceived in many ways, this how they are coming. See this, the word niguhantim, trying to cover, indicates that even one is tainted by kama, lobha, krodha, they can be transfigured by Krishna consciousness. In other words, one can utilize kama for serving Krishna. Being impelled by lust, an ordinary worker will work hard day and night. Similarly, devotee can work hard day and night to satisfy Krishna. So this attachment to Krishna is only good attachment. That does not come with envy. But always, all material attachment is like two breasts. They come together and they're equally stumbling blocks for the spiritual path. Could be said like that also. But how can we explain that when we are attached to something, how that's envious to others? Is there some example?
When we're attached to something,
For example, when you're attached to your family, how is that envious?
Oh, because you don't care about anyone else.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Someone like, you know, gets shot in the head, like you see the news, like, oh, okay. But if your family member, you know, he got his toe stubbed. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes. I was just going through my Prabhu lecture on expenses. That he was saying that if something happens to somebody else's son, I don't care. But if it would happen to my son, my world would be shocked. He was saying like
Yes,
that.
Prabhu.
I don't remember. Yeah.
One also example from attachment and envy that comes to my mind. If one is attachment to his house, when someone is trying to enter the house, he's always his guns ready to kill the person.
In America.
Yes, Prabhu.
That's a good.
He's thinking, this is my property. Who will come to my property? I will shoot him.
That's a good.
Okay, Haribol, now let's go to Six Astakam prayer. So we are not late from morning program.
Is it morning for you, bro?
No, but soon it's sleeping time for everyone. So, because the morning comes fast, it's really soon. Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock in India. Here it is 8 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock here.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagninirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Nam Nam Akari Bodha, Nitri Service at this Dr. Abhida Niyamita Smani and Kala, Vita Tishita Bhakipa Bhagavan, Peter Deva Nitishana, Tikana.
त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिन मानदेन कीर्तनया सदा हरि
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामय मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि
Ainandatanuja kinkalam patitam mam visame bhavam bhuto kripaya tava pada pankajam stita duri sadirsham vichintayam.
Nayanam Galad Shudarya, Vatanam Gagarudagria, Ulakirniti Tamapu Pidatamanamagari Buddhicity.
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्ष्यायितं शून्यायितं जगत् सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
आश्लेष्य वा पादरकं पिनस्तु मामादर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Haribol. Translation. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Oh my Lord, your holy name alone can run all benedictions for living beings. And thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have blessed all your transcendentalities. They are not even harming past souls who chant these names. Oh my Lord, out of your kindness, you enable us to easily approach it by your own name. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for it.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? When will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
Oh Govinda, I feel your separation. I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes, like towards the rain. I'm feeling vacant and more perhaps.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his remembrance or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything. for He is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol.
Haribo.
10 offenses to the holy name. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees. Or should we just read them today? Or does someone want to recite them one by one?
Yeah, I can do.
Okay.
First offense, blaspheming the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second offense, like, you want me to like read
Yes,
all
yes.
of it?
Gianni,
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Second offense. Okay, so second offense to consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Third offense to disobey the order of the spiritual master and to consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or any literatures in pursuance of Vedic origin. Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imaginations. Sixth offense to give mundane interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting out the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense to consider chanting of Hare Krishna to all the auspices of illicit activities operating in the Vedas with activities karmakanda. Ninth offense to instruct the faithful person about the Lord without the holy name of the Lord. Tenth offense to not have complete faith in chanting out the holy name of the Lord. And to not maintain and to not have complete faith in chanting out the holy name of the Lord. To maintain some material attachment even after understanding some perception. It is also an offense to be inattentive about chanting. Every devotee who claims to be otherwise must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prema.
Haribol.
Haribo.
This is perfect. Perfect execution. But you have temple cheat code, so
I was hoping that we all would say Krishna Prema at the end.
yes.
Oh.
That's why I did like a pause. No.
Be nice, Prabhu.
If I really had temple cheat codes, I already have like 500 slokas now.
I will try to also learn it word to word. Gianni Prabhu already also finished the
Yeah.
challenge and you finished it. Now we others need to follow. Okay, the last one.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Haribol.
Haribol.
Jai Nityananda Prabhu ki
Jai.
Sri Krishna
Jai.
Prabhu ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Oh yeah, so Prabhu, I was thinking we didn't have anything called Balram Jayanti, or we are going to do it tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhu. Tomorrow we are not gonna read this book. Let's read something related to Lord Balaram and let's discuss what we know, what we can share. This is really interesting topic.
Yeah,
Okay,
so tomorrow we will have a special reading session.
Yes, Prabhu. It is one hour earlier than today, but I will inform tomorrow, like morning time.
Okay.